So I'm jumping with my next one. And keeping in the same vein from where I left off, I did Barbie
Mm.
to Oppenheimer. Yes, Oppenheimer's on my worst list.
Oh,
Yes, I said it. And I know it was on your best list. It's on my
oh.
worst list. Yes. Yes. I don't even know how the hell you can put this on your best list. You're freaking lying to yourself, bruv. You're lying to yourself. You're never gonna
Whoa.
watch it again. You're never gonna watch it again. Tell the truth.
I
Are you ever gonna watch
am.
it again? No, you're not.
Yes,
No,
I
you're
am. I
not.
am.
No, you're not. You know when you're gonna watch it again? You know when you're
Yeah.
gonna watch it again? You're gonna watch it in 2032 when it comes on modern day terrestrial TV in the future. That's when you'll watch it. You don't care about that movie, bro. You don't care about that movie.
Oh.
Bruv, Oppenheimer's overrated, man. I'm sorry, it's overrated.
Ooh.
Boring. Do you know what it is? Do you know what is pissing me off? And it's the same argument that I've been having for a minute. Like we talked about it last show. We talked about it, but in the last movie, too fucking long. I'm getting tired of long movies for no reason. Like, bruv, if the real talk, not everything is an epic, yeah. And I know Nolan wants to be known as the guy that makes epics, but bruv, not everything's an epic. And in the modern times that we live in, you're making a 3-hour movie. Make it a freaking series, bruv. You know that would have probably been a mini-series back in the day. Just make it a mini-series. Do you know what it is? You know what spoiled cinema? And ironically, this is the film that they said saved cinema. I think it helped to destroy it. It's too fucking long. Real cinema doesn't constitute 3 hours in a fucking movie, bruv. I'm sorry. Give me the 100-minute movie. I don't want
You didn't
180 minutes.
think that it was worthy just to
No,
see the build up from him
no,
when he was young? He wasn't
no.
like believed, and then people started to trust in him. That's why he got the assignment.
That's why it should have been a series.
Wow.
That's why it should have been a series.
Wow.
Probably
Wow.
would have been better if it was a series. And this is a problem I have with films like Oppenheimer, and films like what you was dissing the other day about Killers of the Flower Moon and shit like that. But why is that shit almost 4 hours or 3.5 hours long? It's like, make a minute.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? Like, no one wants to sit down. Like, even back then when we loved movies in cinema, we don't want to sit for 3 hours. Legs and shit. What type of shit is that with no intermission? Unrealistic. No, and do you know what it is? It's TV's fault. It's streaming services' fault. They are
Yeah.
spoiling cinema.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, bruv, just think back to the days of, and I'm going to go all the way back. Remember when the classic epic movies back in the day were like The Ten Commandments and Ben Hur? Those were classics and like epics because it was big set pieces and they cost a lot of money for back then in the 50s and 60s and 70s. And that's why they were like 3 hours long. Like Ben Hur, remember how long? Ben Hur's ridiculously long, right?
Yeah.
And I get it, it's an epic story because they wanted to show you that on the big screen. Some films don't constitute being on the big screen. And I'm not saying Oppenheimer didn't, because obviously it was shot with IMAX cameras. And you got the scope. It deserved the scope because obviously I understand why. I understand the technical aspects in terms of wanting to show a massive explosion. Sometimes it can't look good on a small screen. I get it. You need that super wide to show a real mushroom crowd. They recreate the mushroom clouds and all that shit. And I can respect the performances. I can even respect the set pieces. I just think the story was boring. That's if we're gonna go through, listen, we can go through the list of actors. Yeah, I understand. Yes, personally, I honestly believe. Okay, this is gonna sound mad contradicting, yeah, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if Cillian Murphy won Best Actor Oscar because his portrayal.
He has to be in the consideration.
You lost him. There was no. He was Oppenheimer. I give him. His performance was sick.
Yeah.
I liked Matt Damon. I was mostly surprised by Josh Hartnett. I didn't know he could do that. Like, I mean, good actor, but I was like, wow, that's Josh Hartnett. Like, I don't know him for shit.
He done a good job.
You know what I mean? Robert Downey did a good job. Like
Robert Downey, you lost him as well, bruv. Don't be honest. That wasn't Tony Stark. That was whatever character he was trying to portray.
I'll give him that.
You lost him.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that. The performances were good.
Yeah.
But it was just boring. I love Emily Blunt. One of my favorite actresses. Like, I love her. I think she's so dope. I probably like her in everything she's in.
Yeah, she always gives a good performance. I'll be honest. She's very, very consistent. Even if you're in a bad film like Mary Poppins, she's still good.
Exactly.
But then, obviously, she does Quiet Place, Ezra's Tomorrow, Devil Wears Prada. If you want to go back that far as well, so yeah. Very versatile, very
Yeah.
dope actress. Yeah, I'll give her that. Yeah, definitely.
Florence Pugh, big fan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Her character in the film, though. I don't
Yeah,
care.
character was jarring.
I don't like the portrayal of it. In fact, that was actually one of the weirdest parts of the movie for me. Was
Mm,
the unnecessary sexual aspect. I did not think it pushed the story forward at all. I know they would say it did or it was needed. I didn't think it was needed, and
mm,
especially the way it was shot. I almost feel like that was her Hollywood coming out party. You do this role, you're gonna get to go to the next level. The same way Margot Robbie, the same way Margot Robbie did. Once you do the naked shit, next thing
mm,
you know, on the scope to win an Oscar. When Halle Berry did it, she was on the scope to win an Oscar. It's
yeah.
like they always got to have you embarrass you or take you a step out of your comfort.
Are you specifically referring to the scene when they're kind of interrogating him, and then it kind of turns to a sex scene actually in
I
that?
hated it.
that
I was
yeah,
embarrassed as the actress. Not that took me out of the film. If I'm totally honest
yeah.
with you,
That was a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, that was a bit weird. That was
yeah,
a bit.
I didn't like it. I was like,
And I guess he was trying to visualize what a woman might be thinking. Obviously,
bruv,
if she knows
bruv,
her man is cheated, but you don't have to show that. You don't have to show it right there. I agree. I think that was a weird directing choice.
thank you. And for somebody like Nolan and how he directs, a lot of his stuff is figurative, and he
Yeah,
doesn't always show certain things
that is
visually
true.
because of his level of intellect and how he writes. When
Yeah,
I saw that, it was so out of place for the way
yeah,
he writes. So I was
yeah,
like, why would you show this?
yeah,
This for what you're showing us, your wife is sitting behind you and you're having to talk about how you basically cheated on her and she has
yeah,
to hear.
yeah,
You didn't need to show it. It was already inferred. So
yeah.
you showing it had no bearing on the story. It
Mm,
was almost like you just wanted to put a scene like that in the movie. I almost reckon that it was one of them things that maybe the frigging studio wanted. We want some titties. Put some titties in
yeah,
the film
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because even the sex scene, that the first one with her and Oppenheimer, we didn't need to see that.
Yeah,
All that whole scene was necessary.
yeah,
Even the scene, I would say, which was necessary, which sorry, not necessary, but made sense when after they beat and they're sitting there naked talking. That was fine because
yeah,
that's obviously depicting. Yeah, they just beat. I get it,
yeah, yeah,
but very rarely in movies are sex scenes pushing the story forward.
yeah. That's true.
Sometimes you
Unless
really
it's
don't
like a
need to see it.
sexual, unless it's like based
Yeah,
around sex, like a sexual thriller or
exactly.
something, like a fatal
Exactly.
attraction, basic instinct or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly. 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 Because sometimes I think it's a little bit too voyeuristic. Like if you want to watch that shit, we'll watch porn. Like
Yeah,
I don't want to see that in a movie when I'm trying to focus and pay attention to the storyline.
yeah,
Because when you tip out and start showing sex scenes when it doesn't have nothing to do with the story, it's almost like, do you know what I used to love back in the day? It's like how I used to do that thing in movies all the time where it'd be like two people will meet at a bar and then they're talking and then the man will say something and the woman will turn to the man and then the innuendo will be there and it will just cut to them in bed
yeah, yeah,
smoking and the guy will just be putting his clothes on or some shit.
yeah,
Because what? That's all we needed. We
yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
what happened in the bed because we know what happened in the bed. Get on with the story. And you
it's,
know what? The reason why I'm even saying this is because it's reasons like this why movies are too fucking long now.
mm,
Because they feel like they need to show everything. Listen, the audience, I know they're dumbing shit down, but they're dumbing shit down too much. And for a movie like Oppenheimer, which is very much not dumbed down,
no, no,
why
very
put
talky,
yeah,
very
that's
talky.
you're dumbing it down? We didn't need that shit. So, and I'm gonna give it this. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10. That's the best I can do because I'm only giving it that for the performances because the acting performances were good, but I just don't like the story. I'm taking all that shit away. Most of that 5 out of 10 actually goes to Cillian Murphy, and I'll sprinkle the rest for everybody else.
Wow,
But yeah, give it 5 out of 10. There's so much more I can say. I just want to keep it short. I already went over more than what I wanted to say, but yeah,
mm,
maybe one time we'll talk about Nolan a little bit more. But yeah, I'm gonna let it go. 5 out of 10 is the best I can give it.
wow, wow. Well, there you go. That's yeah, people. We disagree, man. You can't say that we always agree on something. It's on my best list. It's on Kwame's worst list.
Yeah.
Let us know which side you fall on. If you're in the middle, if you agree, however you feel about it. Like and subscribe. Drop a comment. You know how we do. All right. That's Oppenheimer.